Hey, we are the 2020 from Brian Malone's ERIT 1A class, and today we'll be drawing the life of Boston King. So Boston King's story began 28 miles from Charleston, where both his parents were slaves in a plantation. His parents were admired by their master for their skills that they developed, while Boston himself was sent to learn the skill of carpentry at the age of 16. There he was a very responsible worker, but was mercilessly beaten for every little mistake that he or his co-workers made. These excruciating beatings and Boston's fear drove him to run away to freedom by joining the British Army, which had just occupied Charlestown. However, the British command was not much kinder to him. The overcrowded, unsanitary living space breeded disease.
Even though he was underappreciated, he still worked diligently for the British Army by running dispatches and helping capture American rebels. A while later, he met and married his wife, Violet, in New York closer to the end of the war. The war ended in 1783, and slaves that assisted Britain were freed and were sent to Nova Scotia. There, Boston King and many other inhabitants founded the new town of Birchtown. There was a very thorough religious deliverance that eventually led Boston King to run a congregation. A few years passed, and then there was a migration of many of the population to go create a colony in West Africa. In 1792, they arrived in Freetown, Sierra Leone, where King set up a chapel, and, unfortunately, his wife died due to fever. There he was hired to become a teacher to the indigenous people, and thus, for 2 years, he was sent to study in Kingswood School, Bristol. A few years later, in 1798, Boston wrote one of the 3 accounts on the Black Loyalist perspective. These works are where most historians get most information on him today. Finally, he died in the year 1802. Thanks for watching, everyone.